I think I spent so much of my life just handling what needs to be handled next that I never really stopped to look at where I would be a year from now. Hi, my name is Ruth, and I help women in their 30s and 40s rebuild and reinvent their lives. I realize how much of my life has been lived in survival mode. I was talking to a friend and she was like, my broke is I got $700 left to my next paycheck. That's her broke. And I said, "Oh, my broke is my broke is broke." Okay, like it just 700 is richness. Okay, and I was like, when I was telling her, I was like, I've been just every no matter what I try to do, I just keep getting pulled back into this cycle of not having. And I have started over so many times, and I've had to rebuild in so many times that I'm just every time I start rebuilding, I just get knocked down to rebuild again. But this time is different. This time I am rebuilding with my husband. So I've already started the rebuilding process, and then he's coming along to add to it. And then we started looking at a year from now. And I was like, the things that I did back in the day, and I was calling my daughter our dream meeting. And we had a dream meeting last night, and it was really nice. I didn't like, and I was like, people around me, they plan all of the events for the year and then they work backwards. And I was like, I want to start doing that. The women that I look up to, even if some of them kind of half crazy, find out, right? But that's what they do. And so things are set up and then you just work towards it. And I was just like, wow, going to work, taking care of four kids, handling bills, church, marriage, trying to figure out school. It's always like, what's next? Like, even right now, I'm feeling like I have my birthday coming up in a couple of days. And then from that next week is my son's birthday. And the next week is my daughter's birthday. And the next week is um and I think that week between the son and the daughter, they start school. And then the next week after that is the daughter's birthday. And the next week after that is probably family vacation or somewhere like that. We're trying to figure out where we want to do it. And it's just, I'm trying to keep my head above water, have enough for the very next thing and the next couple of things. And that's it. Like, but if you start to talk to me about what's coming up soon, I get overwhelmed. But then when the date comes, I'm not prepared. And it's like, you cannot keep living not prepared enough for the future and overwhelmed with tomorrow, like the very next day. So, and today, you know what I mean? So, even starting over can become another thing that you have to fix and do and another project. And this has definitely have been something that I had to adjust to. My life is a lot different. I'm always constantly thinking of a video, planning a video, editing a video, doing, fixing a problem. Oh, by the way, so you know how I was like, oh, the upload situation got to get fixed. I found another way to upload, and on my I found another program and it's free and I can just upload it and it went straight to the thing. I was like, yes, this solves so much of my issue of just fighting with these apps. And I was just so happy. And I felt like me pushing is my upgrade, my graduation, my promotion. That's what I was calling it. I was like, this is my promotion for sticking it out and just fighting at this level, fighting, and then boom, I'm hitting that next level. So I'm so happy about that. So that means if my video is like interrupted, I don't have like this big like every time my video stops, my heart just drops because I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna put all this together, right? So I'll try to get everything in like one foul swoop, and that has been the fight of my life because then I'm like, it's hard to upload if it's not one. So I don't have to worry about that anymore, and I'm happy about that. And this is all these things are adjustments. Starting over is an adjustment, but is an adjustment. But sitting down with my husband to look at the whole year, realize made me realize um I don't want to just keep getting through my life, right? So my second point is planning a year made me look beyond what's hard right now. And when you see what's hard right now, like if you saw a mess in your house and you're like, oh my gosh, I got this mess, I gotta clean up, I gotta stop, oh my God. But you're like, okay, if you had a mess, but then you had a dinner to plan, you'd be like, oh, if I see the whole dinner and I gotta decorate and I gotta cook and I gotta do all that and the mess is in the way, the mess is not gonna be like the big problem anymore. It's gonna be just one wall you have to knock down to get to the real issues that you want to get to. So that's how I've been feeling. Like looking at the year made me feel like, oh, whatever I'm feeling right now, that's nothing compared to what I got about to come my way. So let's get on that. And it just made it seems like so much. It put everything into perspective, pretty much. So right now, I'm like tired at my job. I'm trying to figure out my next career move, what I'm going to do. I might stay put, I might not. I will let you know. But I just feel like I have to look forward. And when Monday comes, I'm like, oh gosh, I got to do this again. But it's so crazy because I've been having the best weekends. Like, I don't know about you, but I've been having the best weekends. Like, married life and social life. And I'm like, oh, is this what people be doing? You better not cry, Rue. You better not cry. I've been inside. I've been outside. I was at Circle Time. I was like, the little boy, I was like, he was like, he was asking all the kids what y'all do this weekend. Everybody like, I went to the park. I went to the beach. I went to there. I went to see Spider-Man. And me and little boy was like, I said, he a little Haitian boy. I said, we just looked outside the window. It was cute. We just looked outside the window. It's like what? We was outside playing outside. It's like that's why you like being outside, and that's why I like being inside now because it's like, but it's another way to live, and it's just like seeing every. But that's okay. It's okay, little Ruth. It's gonna be all right. Now I get to live my life after I raise my kids. I get to be a young little girl again. Nobody told me when I get married that I'll go back to being a little girl because I'll be like in his arms, like, I'm scared. Like, you all right? You safe with me, girl? Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody because y'all like marriage. All right. Last point is I want to build now, not just recover. I don't want to keep running just to catch up and running just to catch up and then never be catching up. Okay. Starting over began as healing from things that happened to me. But now I'm taking it a step further by saying, you know what? I'm okay. And I'm going to put my foot in front of the other one step at a time. I'm going to keep on working on myself, but I'm also going to fix the things that get on my own nerves, right? The things that I want to do better. I don't need you to complain about me. I'm complaining to myself. Starting over is like, I don't want to keep being in the same cycle, doing the same thing. So I have to become a different woman. And I know this. I don't want my whole story to be about recovering from my past. So now I'm just asking, okay, Ruth, what are you actually building? What are you actually getting done? What are you actually going to leave at the end of this challenge to say that this is what I built? This is where it starts. This is how it's going to go. I don't want to spend the rest of my life recovering. I want to build. I don't want to keep crying about the past. If I have to cry, I'm going to take my moment to cry. But starting over, it is like admitting that I'm hurt. Starting over for me is admitting that they played me. And starting over me means I haven't had a chance to catch my breath to react to them playing with me, right? And I want to move forward, not think about the theys, no matter who they are, not thinking about them, but putting myself in the center, my husband, my family, my friends, and saying, okay, I want this to look different. It's good, but we're at the starting line. What can we do to get closer to the finish line? What does the finish line look like? And that's what looking at a glance, even just a year, does. And I used to do this a lot, but I some kind of way fell back. Every birthday, I have a plan on what I want to do, but knowing full and hell well, excuse my language, I ain't got the money to do that. I ain't got the money to do that. No, I ain't got that money to do that. So it was a wish. But to know I'm in partnership with a loving man who we make a plan and we stick to the plan and we get things done and we get things paid and we move forward and we get out of jams and we set ourselves up for success. That's the life I'm looking forward to. I'm so excited. Maybe like I had to start over by myself at one phase of my life in my 30s. That was the starting over by myself. I went a whole decade pretty much on my own. Pretty much, if somebody was helping me, they was hurting me at the same time as helping me. But now, and then I survived that. I survived how to not need their help. Now at 41, going on 42 in a couple more days, I'm able to start over with others that can wrap their arms around me and I can wrap my arms around them and start to look to see a brighter day. So I always say no girls trip for me, this and then a third. But it's a little different when your friends is married and um they're faithful and married. So we might be able to pull something off. I might think like, hey, where we want to go, where we want to go together, and that would be nice. It would be really nice because when you are a mom and you are charged with a lot of things and a lot of people, to get away and to be just with people that you care about and you know they love you, it would be nice. So that's another thing that I'm saying. Like, okay, I got to look ahead with my friends and I got to look ahead with my children. I got to look ahead with my husband and my businesses. And it's looking beautiful. How is yours looking? How is your year moving forward? If you can just imagine whatever you want to imagine, if you just want whatever you want, what is it going to look like? Leave a comment below. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Make sure you like the video, please. And thank you. Bye.